Hi everyone, how are you doing? This is Amanda and it is the 6th of May 2021 as I record this video. This video is one of two. The second has not yet been recorded, probably will be recorded on Saturday, all being well. And it's a body of work to address concerns that you may have, whether you have chosen to have what I'm going to call the jab or not. This video is intended for anybody that wishes to watch it, and indeed you may very well be advised to watch both videos, because whether you have had it or not, you undoubtedly will have people within your family, your friendship group or your work circle that may have chosen a different or made a different decision to you. So it will help to give an understanding of the energies that are at play around each choice. Okay. I would like to say that this video is going to be part teaching and guidance. It's also going to include some techniques and tools to help you, although it will be emphasized that the biggest technique and tool that you have at your own disposal is your own frequency and your own vibration, whatever choice you've made, whether to have the jab or not have the jab. So I will be talking about that. I'm going to be mentioning some crystals. I'm going to be bringing in some a combination of different ascended masters to assist. I set up this whole, I don't know what to call it. Metatron's calling it a docking station because that is what it feels like. I've just surrounded by tools and techniques and energies to hopefully assist you. I did that last night. So I've already pulled some guidance cards on it, which are just reminders for me really to talk about these various things. I will just mention that the energies that are particularly around in this video, as far as I know so far, are of course myself and my own higher self and intuition, Archangel Metatron, Ashtar, Mary Magdalene, and Melchizedek. So far that's who we've got coming in to help. I will try and cover as many of the subjects that I know are out there linked into the fears around this, and maybe some of the side effects that are being reported. When I talk about these things, I'm not necessarily reinforcing that it is my belief that that side effect is linked, for example, to the particular jab, but I am just trying to address some of the concerns that are out there. The other thing I want to say before we get going is please understand that we're not actually all operating on the same level playing field. And indeed, in terms of efficacy of the jabs themselves, what you need to understand is that their efficacy rate, i.e. how effective they are, the studies for that were done at different times, in different countries, at different stages of either a peak of the pandemic phase or when it was starting to recede a little, and also when there were different variants at play in different countries. So when you're looking at efficacy rates of a jab, please take into consideration that fact. And there is a video that I did find recently that explained that, and I thought was quite eye-opening. So I think what will be coming through in this body of work is that my guidance is that this is, when I say a test, I actually feel it's a test for all of us, whichever decision we make, because there are lessons within each choice, and there is absolutely healing work, ongoing maintenance work that is required for each choice. So if you're coming to this video very unconsciously, with not having maybe considered any aspect of this, then it's time to buckle up, is what I'm hearing. Okay, I'm not being rude there, it's just what I'm going to be saying to the people in my next video as well, for those that are choosing not to have it. I want to say that my personal feeling is that it feels as though I'm being shown it from a higher perspective, and I'm just being shown some dice that are just thrown onto the board. Now remember that the what that symbolises is that it's a gamble either way. Now you may be in the camp that thinks by having the vaccine that you are 100% safe, for example, but there is a degree of gamble and risk in anything that we do in life. I do need to say at this point, because I think it's very relevant to this discussion, is the fact that these vaccines have not been FDA approved yet and are still in experimental status until, I believe, 2023. So that is a factor to consider. Nobody knows what any effect may be in 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, because we've never been here before. So if you're choosing to have it, and by it isn't just one singular thing, because there are many different options out there in terms of jab, not in all countries, but in some. Some countries don't even have the choice yet. But we do not yet know. So by the dice being rolled, what Metatron is effectively saying is that humanity has chosen at some level of being to go through this whole experience of pandemic, and that also is about every single aspect of pandemic, including jab. Okay. Roll the dice. Let's see how we as a combined unity energy play with it. That is true also for people that have chosen not to have it. The roll of the dice is still the same. You take your chances with that. Having said that, I believe that by doing the work that is presented, for example, in this video and the next, you give yourselves a much higher odds of optimum health and ongoing vitality and wellness. But what I am being quite clearly shown is this: if we just go into this whole, when I say experiment, I'm talking about the whole energy of pandemic, the thing that we have chosen at higher level to go through as a species, because I do believe that is the case. If you then approach it totally unconsciously and are just waiting for everybody else to tell you the answers to everything, and it's just sort of, I've done that, now I never need to think about it again, that is not feeling a particularly helpful strategy or energy for you to be holding within your body, because your body needs maintenance, whether you've had it or not. And for this video, we're also going to be talking about restoration. Restoration is the word that I'm hearing. Let me just write that down. Okay, so restoration for the body. Okay. Let's just see where we want to go. I also want to say that this video is, as I say, for people that have had the jab or are thinking of getting it. I think the vast majority of the restoration work needs to be coming in around those people who have particularly chosen the mRNA option of vaccine. Now, I'm just going to check which ones they are as I make this video, but more probably will be added. Actually, I don't know whether I can say the names without this video getting flagged. You can look that up yourself, okay? It's quite easy to find if you just type in mRNA COVID vaccines. Not all of them are mRNA ones. Maybe you can write it in the description, in the comments below, but I don't want to say it out loud here because that's how things get tracked on YouTube. I want this video to stay up, is what I'm really trying to say. I wish I'd kept an article that I read, maybe a year ago. It was on one of the broadsheet papers, and it was fascinating because it was talking from a scientific perspective, and it was saying that the scientific community pre-pandemic had almost, I mean, this sounds a bit brutal, but had almost been waiting for an opportunity for something to arrive whereby a number of different approaches to jab, to how to make a jab would present itself, so that they could all be compared over time in terms of which one was more effective. Because the different types of jab out there are not all the same. You probably know that if you've already had it because you'll have researched this. And they were saying that the mRNA one in particular, by its experimental nature, even though it had been studied for years previously, hadn't yet been fully tested. So there is a question mark over those vaccines. I've said it anyway. I'll just have to go for it, aren't I? Let's hope this video stays up. I do know that Metatron is really trying to help get this information out here. I will say there's building work going on over the road. And I just saw the guy, and he's trying to start up some really noisy motor, and it's failed. He was like pulling this thing, and it was like he's getting really frustrated because it won't start. And I was looking at it thinking, I know why it's not starting, because Metatron wants this to be quiet so we can do this work. So we have got the higher beings with us. I make no apologies for the length of this video. You may need to watch it in 2 sittings. You may need to take notes. If you could see my desk now, it's just covered in stuff and information. So if I'm doing the work, then you have to do the work as well. It's that simple. And if you're on the spiritual path and you're linked into the path of mastery, which is the Metatron energy, then you already know that there's work involved to do. Doesn't mean it's beyond you, otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video. Okay, right, so we're going to be looking at crystals, we're going to be looking at Merkaba, and we're going to be looking at some teaching. Let's first off start with, where should we start, Metatron? Let's start with frequency. Let's start with frequency. I wrote this down last night. I wrote that your mindset is your greatest weapon against both the virus itself and also any ill effect from the jab, as is your heart. What do I mean by that? Mindset stroke frequency stroke heart energy. I have said this before in other videos, but it is completely applicable to this subject too, linked into vaccine, linked into jab, that we have to stay in the energy of love. If you allow fear to come in to your energy field 24/7, we all have fear to a certain extent, particularly around these decisions, particularly around the virus, particularly around the pandemic and what's happening in our world. But if you allow yourself to live in fear 24/7, you are going to be holding an energy which is lower within your body, which makes you it lowers your immune system. Now, if you've had a jab of any sort, whether it's this, whether it's a standard flu jab, whether it's anything, your immune system by nature has to rise to the occasion to work with, fend off, integrate what has been put into it. okay? So you need your immune system to be firing on all cylinders. Sorry, I've just got another piece of information coming. I've just got to write down. Okay. One of the things that helps your immune system to fire on all cylinders is to hold a high frequency. And that is the energy of holding love versus fear in your being. I'll say at this point that some of the things that we're seeing on social media in particular, linked into reported side effects of having the jab. Now, I don't know whether these are real or not. I have no reason to think that people are making them up, so I'm going to take it that there are some side effects happening. In fact, I know they are, because I know people in my circle who've had it recently and have had quite severe side effects, so we know they're there. But again, the more that we focus on the side effects in terms of social chatter, the more that we're going to add energy to it. We're going to give life to those side effects. Anything that is of lower frequency, anything that is challenging, when we give energy to it, we exacerbate it, we amplify it. So, for example, it's not to say that side effects are not possible, because they are. Say you have a side effect energy that comes in, okay, you actually start to feel a little bit poorly, or a big thing that I know is happening is people who've got arthritic conditions are having flare-ups of arthritis, for example. Fibromyalgia seems to be affected after you've had it, in some, not all, in some. Remember, it's not an even playing field. Everybody is different. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's body has got different things that it might be fighting physically, emotionally, mentally, etc. Okay, so it's not a level playing field. Just because one person has a side effect doesn't mean that you're going to get it. But in those that do, it's the same thing we would say about any form of illness or dis-ease within the body not being at ease with something that is within it. In this case, something that's been put into it, okay? Even if it's something that you believe is there to help you fortify your resistance to something that is worse that you could potentially get. The adage of what we focus on amplifies. If you have a side effect and you are going into fear about that side effect and what it potentially could lead to, or just only focusing, for example, on the pain or whatever it is, you're going to be adding to it. So I know it's difficult, but in those situations, again, we mustn't go too much into fear. And please, can we be very cautious as a tribe before we share a lot of stuff online that we may not have proof is going on. I mean, I know it's a fine line, guys, because I'm not saying don't bring in awareness to what's going on out there. I'm the last person to say that. I'm really talking about what I've been watching in terms of people talking about problems with menstruation or changes in menstruation, and also the shedding phenomena, whereby supposedly if you are, I mean, this is going to come more into the second video because it's more linked into people that haven't had the jab, who it's said are coming into contact with people who are then becoming, their menstruation is being affected by that. I'm going to bring Mary Magdalene in to help with that at some point, but probably in this video or in the next one. But what I'm really trying to express here is that I'm being shown it's like a juggernaut. The more that we put something out there into the collective as a phenomena, the more we add life to it. That becomes as infectious as anything that actually might be being physically shed. Okay, do you understand me? So Metatron's giving me the example of this. If today on this video I say there is a high likelihood of a bomb going off in a certain city, and I'm obviously not going to say what the city is because I don't want to create this phenomena, but say I did, say I came on and I said, you know, I'm feeling that there's going to be a bomb going off in this particular place today or in the next 5 days, and then the 50,000 people that watch this video, for example, or however many it is, focus on those words, then go into fear about it, we can bring closer to the clock the eventuality of that manifesting and happening. So too, when we start to talk about illness, either within our own physical body, we can make it much worse, but equally, illness, dis-ease that is out there, we can amplify. I'm actually being shown like a mushroom cloud, like the Hiroshima cloud. We can create something that then becomes, there may be truth in it at the root, but it becomes something that can mushroom and shower over far more people. In fact, the energy of shedding it can affect people that are over there that haven't even heard of the phenomena. Am I making sense? It's making sense to me. Okay. How do we get onto that? We got onto that because we have to own our vibration and our frequency and our mindset and try to master it so that we clean ourselves up from inside and outside in terms of our auric space, which is why we're going to be working with our Merkaba. So we are cleaning internally. So, and by doing that, anybody that we come into contact with, whether in the physical realm or etherically in the astral realm, we are not sprinkling fear, we're not sprinkling virus, if that is even potentially possible, probably is, I've no idea, or any side effect issue that might be there, but as soon as you seed it, and I'm just being shown the steamroller, it can actually, it can spread by words, it can spread energetically by, I'm being shown a head of steam, it creates a head of steam. So we've got to be really careful. And it's a really difficult one, this. I mean, this is masterclass stuff because I'm not saying don't raise awareness about it, but it's almost as though once we've raised awareness to keep going on and on and on about it, you know, like every single Facebook post you see, and that's the thing you're going to be bringing up. It's like, it's out there. We already know about it. Or the people that need to know about it know about it. I don't know, guys, but anyway, just be careful of the mushroom cloud effect, okay? Because nobody wants that. So yes, keeping your frequency high. Now, when we get into Merkaba, I will link below a video that I did, 5 years ago on Merkaba. I haven't got time in this video to go on about and explain what Merkaba is, okay, to anybody here. Go back and watch the video. You need to do the work on it. But effectively, we have this electromagnetic shape. No, it's not a shape. It's an electromagnetic field around us, which is our Merkaba. When we are within our Merkaba, we are protected, we are safe, but equally within the Merkaba, I'm actually being told it's like an operating theatre. It can be like an operating theatre. What Metatron means by that is that when you are within it, you can ask Metatron, for example, to bring in the tools, the instruments, the frequencies, the light, the codes that you need to clean your inner body of any ill effect you've had from having this, okay? And also to restore you and to maintain your health. There is a but in this, okay? The but with Merkaba work is that for your Merkaba field to be activated around you, you need to be in the energy of love, okay? So if you're walking around heavily, just heavily, I want to say, you know, with a lot of dark, lower energy, a lot of fear-based energy, a lot of anger, a lot of hate, a lot of, and hate may be also linked into this pandemic, for example. Who has created it? What has created it? You know, I'm not saying that's not justified to a degree, but again, you've got, your heart is your biggest tool, is what I'm hearing, because the heart, and being able to go back into your heart when the mind is going crazy with, you know, this and that, and, you know, the fear is kicking in, etc. Going back into the heart doesn't have the fear. That still place within your heart is where the truth is, it's where God is, it's where your higher self is, it's your soul light. It will lead you home, and it will also get you into a space whereby the Merkaba can be activated around you. Now, I teach about this within the level 1 training programs that I do every single month. Okay, I think most of you that follow me know that I do this training every month. It's a limited number of spaces. I do teach about Merkaba within it because why I'm mentioning this now is that what I try to teach, and I'm teaching here, is that I'm going against the old school guard of, I don't know, 30 years ago, which maybe presented activating Merkaba as being a very complicated act in itself, very difficult to achieve. You know, how do you do it? What is the technique? With Metatron, it's more about aligning to his frequency, entering into the energy of the heart and the love vibration, and Metatron can help you activate it, kickstart it. But you have to have that heart-centered, loving, placed energy to create it in the first place, okay? Let's see what Metatron wants to say about this now. Now, again, I don't want for you to be thinking, oh God, well, but I've got fear and I've got anger and I do feel hatred, and so how on earth am I ever going to be able to activate this with around me to help me with this situation, having had the jab? You're a human being, okay? I'm a human being. We all get fear from time to time. It's about balance, okay? I'm talking about balance. If you, and again, this is why we have to do the work. Those of you that do meditation every day, for example, or mindfulness practice, you know that the more that you do it, the more that you're able to get into that centered place of stillness and peace. It doesn't just click in, you know, automatically on day one where you try to meditate for the first time. Same with Merkaba work, okay? But meditation and mindfulness are very much linked into activating this, because it helps to align you and get you into the vibration whereby it can activate, okay? So let's do the Merkaba work now. Let's see what Metatron wants to bring through, and then we're going to bring through other tools and other guides. So this is Metatron in particular wanting to bring through Merkaba. Let me just read about Merkaba from this book, which is the Sacred Geometry Oracle Deck by Francine Hart. That is the card. I mean, I pulled it last night. I knew I was going to be working with Merkaba, but I said to Metatron, okay, is there a symbol from this deck that we need? And of course, Merkaba came out. Okay, so it says that Merkaba, I'm just going to paraphrase here. It says, working with Merkaba, you are connecting with aspects of your being that stretch far beyond your everyday life and help you to be in touch with your higher self and universal wisdom. It helps you to become a seeker of intuitive knowledge. And this shape, this Merkaba shape, star tetrahedron, is one of the primary geometries contained in the energy field surrounding your body. When activated, it forms a time-space vehicle of ascension. The Merkaba union is sacred and it responds directly to emotion, which is just what I've said. It responds to our emotion. We have to try and get ourselves into a balanced state of being. Okay. As the noise starts up. Okay, I'm going to carry on because the thing is, we're living in a chaotic, noisy world. And your life is probably chaotic and noisy a lot of the time. So you have to be able to get into this state with noise that's going on, with distractions that are going on. That is the practice, to be able to be in this state of alignment and peace and heart-centered energy to deal with anything. In this case, having had this. Or, yeah, okay, let's just do it. Okay, I'm going to spray the white light. This is actually called White Light and Merkaba Energy Spray. It's one of the first sprays we ever created. So I'm just going to work with the energy of white light. I'd like you to put your feet onto the ground, please. I'd like us just to breathe in 3 times, and it's imagining white light around you. So breathing in white light, breathing out white light, breathing in white light, breathing out white light, breathing in white light, breathing out white light. Become focused on your body. Become focused on your feet and the Earth Star chakra that is underneath them. Become aware of your crown. Become aware of your soul star above your crown. Become aware of your stellar gateway above that. The higher chakras and the lower chakras. As above, so below. Become aware of the axis of your heart, the anchor, the safe place to which you always can return. Breathe into your heart. Allow the breath to flow from your heart to the higher chakras, down to the feet and the Earth Star. A perfect infinity flow of breath. Breathing in, centering on the heart, up to the chakras above, back to the heart, flowing down to the feet and the Earth Star, back to the heart, flowing up to the higher chakras, back to the heart, down to the feet, back to the heart, up to the higher chakras, back to the heart, down to the feet, back to the heart. We're going back to the heart. We're attuning back to the heart. We're breathing into our heart. We are attuning into our heart. We are attuning into the energy of love. We are attuning into the energy of peace. We are attuning into the energy of health. We are attuning into the energy of joy. Back to the heart. Back to the heart. Back to the heart. Back to God. Back to the divine. Back to light. Back to all that is. Back to the heart. Back to the heart. Back to the heart. Breathing in love. Breathing out love. Standing in love. Crowned in love. Surrounded by love. Encircled by love. Love behind. Love in front. Love to the right. Love to the left. Love all around. Love within. Love within. Love within. Feeling that cocoon of beautiful love light around you. Cocoon, egg shape, now starting to transform naturally, organically, into the shape of your own Merkaba field, part of you, part of God, part of the oneness, feeling enfolded, feeling protected, feeling held within your own Merkaba field, full of love, full of light, full of healing, Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the space within the Merkaba field. You are safe. You are held. You are home. You are within yourself. Feeling the cords of this Merkaba field, silver anchor down to Mother Earth, golden cord up to the greater universe. Metatron's light around it, within it, an aspect of you. Thinking about your health, thinking about your body, thinking about the jab that you have had, feeling into what your body says, what your body needs at this particular moment. Any healing being sent now, created and manifested within this Merkaba field. Light codes manifesting, sound codes manifesting, love codes manifesting. Any organ, any gland, any part of you, any bone, any sinew, any muscle that has struggled to integrate this, bringing in the frequency now that helps integrate, cleanse, heal, align, whatever it is that your body needs now, bringing that in. Focusing in on the cells, the membranes of the cells, the DNA within your body, anything that has been affected, anything that has been corrupted, anything that has been tainted, anything that has been interfered with, bringing it back to a state of unity, to a state of health, to a state of oneness. Co-creating that now with the Creator, with Metatron, with your own higher self, within your Merkaba field. Feel it, believe it, it is so. It is complete, it is done. Breathing into the health, breathing into the wellness, breathing into strength, breathing into restoration, breathing into protection, breathing into your body, telling your body all is well, telling your body all is well, telling your body all is well. Cementing that in as a reality. All is well. Becoming aware of the silver cord now, linking down into Mother Earth, feeling the call of Mother Nature, feeling the call of Gaia, feeling the earth underneath your feet, the sounds in the room, the sounds on this video, the sound of my voice, bringing in the bass, bringing in the drums, bringing in the grounding, bringing in the energy of Mother Earth, spraying the metapyrite energy, essential oils, lemon, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, ravensara, thyme, Buddha wood, spikenard, bathing in them, bathing in them, bathed in essential oils, bathed in Metatron's light, breathing that in, opening your eyes, becoming one, knowing that your Merkaba field can stay around you for the entirety of this video, for the entirety of the day, feeling its security, feeling its safety, feeling its love for you, you and it one, you and Metatron one, you and God one. All is well. Okay, let's just come back now. Some sounds to ground. I'm being shown a, what do they call them? An hourglass. And it might be also another thing for some of you that when you meditate, and if you again have fears coming up or anxiety coming up around this whole issue linked into jab, you could imagine an hourglass and all the fear, for example, is in the top of that hourglass, and then just ask it to filter down into the bottom. But rather than what we normally do is we then just turn it back upside down. It's like as it comes down into the bottom bit, I'm just seeing it start to dissolve. It's like it just transmutes. It's like sands of time, just allow it to dissolve. It's interesting I'm doing that as well because it's making me think of the divine feminine. It's making me think of the shape of a woman. And you can't see here, but the effectively the altar mat that I've got here, on which I've got all of my cards and crystals. I'll put a photograph up so you can see it on the community tab of YouTube, and I'll put it up on Facebook and Instagram. But I've got the shape. I've got goddesses. I've got 4 goddesses, the shape of a woman. And when I was laying out all the tools last night, I was thinking I knew I needed the female energy, the divine feminine energy to come in and to help us with this. What I mean by that is it's the rising of the divine feminine energy as well. So just wanting to bring her in. Okay, how are we doing? 42 minutes. Let's see what else I have to say here on this video. Okay, before we move off Merkaba, the thing to say about Merkaba is that what I demonstrated there, that's just one way that you could use it. There are a million different forms of visualization that you could incorporate into your Merkaba work. The most important thing is to get into your heart, get into the vibration of love, to breathe out the fear and breathe in the energy of white light, pink light, love, peace, everything we just did then. And then just try and build that inner within the body, outer within the aura. And then again, I mean, there can be much more sophisticated ways to do it, but personally, we live in a busy world. I don't have time to sit down every day and do an hour's meditation. So Metatron's always said to me, keep it simple, keep it quick. Again, this is why there's work to do. We have to every day be trying to maintain our energy field and the vibration that we hold within us so that it's almost like the switch gets clicked on quicker, okay? Don't judge yourself if you're having a bad day. There are other tools that you can use on days such as those when you just can't get into a high vibe, So let's have a look at other tools that we have at our disposal. One of the easiest ways to also help you is crystals. So I know other teachers have talked about this and I back up what they're saying. I do believe that Shungite, for example, is a good crystal. Shungite is like a flat black, it's almost like a flat matte black looking crystal. Shungite feels very helpful for these times. Shungite's very good for basically absorbing all sorts of things, including electromagnetic radiation as well. If you're going to work with a black crystal though, please remember that black absorbs energy very, very effectively. So if, for example, I don't know, you've got that stuff down your bra and you've programmed it to help clear out of your body any ill effects of virus or effects from the jab, please make sure that you cleanse this regularly. Okay, it has to be cleansed. I mean, for me, say for example you'd had the jab and then you were carrying this around for the whole week after the jab, I would be cleansing that the week after. Absolutely, I wouldn't let it go a month. Cleansing crystals is straightforward, whether you're putting them through smoke, smudging them, daylight, sunlight, water. You probably have to be a bit careful with water with Shungite. The rule is that if a crystal ends with ITE, it can be affected by water. Having said that, this one, I actually put this out on my balcony because can you see it's chipped? And so I was a bit disappointed. So I just put it out near my plants, to be perfectly honest. I grabbed it today to show it to you. This has been out in thunderstorms, pouring rain yesterday, gales. It looks completely intact to me, so I'm actually quite surprised. It feels as though it's more robust than I thought it was. So Shungite, yeah, others have talked about Shungite. What other crystals do I want to bring into the mix, though, that I feel are important? This is an interesting combination I'm about to tell you. Turquoise and carnelian. Now, what prompted it is that somebody did send me, one of you sent me this beautiful mala. Actually, I want to say about malas as well. You see, malas are a great way to help you meditate. If you find meditation hard to do, because we do need to be, meditation is also walking meditation. It's to do with aligning back to the frequency that we wish to hold, peace, love, etc. Holding a mala during a practice can be very therapeutic. So I recommend malas. But anyway, yeah, turquoise and carnelian. Why those two? It took me back to my last video, which was about Lemuria. I was saying that there were ancient skills and techniques and tools and healing abilities that we all have that come from previous civilizations. Egypt, Atlantis, Lemuria, for example. Turquoise and red carnelian take me back to an Egyptian lifetime. And the thing about an Egyptian lifetime, which many of us have had, most people watching me here, you've probably all had an Egyptian lifetime. There were always initiations within it. And the initiations were very dark night of the soul. Can I get through this? Turquoise is said to ward off negative energy. It's protective, and carnelian is for the body. It's blood. It's grounding. It's of the earth. And these two together, carnelian, turquoise, to me are saying what we're going through at the moment with regard to the pandemic, whatever you think of it, whatever you've chosen, whether you've had the jab or not had the jab, this is an initiation into the next level that we will be going to in our world. It is our choice as a species what that next level is going to look like, which is why we've got to get out of fear and we have got to get out of separation consciousness. It's going to lead us into a completely dead end if we do that. So I pray we don't. And I think that it's tipping in our favour, but we've got a hell of a lot of work to do. And that's why we have to put down the fighting within spiritual communities, because if we don't stop it, how are we expecting people out there to not be fighting with each other? Anyway, I'm going off on one, but I do feel very passionate about this. Turquoise and carnelian, initiation. You are going through an initiation, whether you've had this jab or not, okay? So they feel as though they help to protect us through that. They ground our energy. They help our body to assimilate. Turquoise is also about flow. It's about creativity. We have to find a creative approach out of the box that we've put ourselves in, etc. So I just want you to be meditating with turquoise and carnelian, or as I say, in the form of maybe a necklace or a mala. You can just be linking into this. What does the turquoise say to you? What does the carnelian say to you? But together, what do they say? It feels as though it's the combination of the two. And it also, what Metatron's saying to me here, if you've been watching me for months, you know how many times, guys, have I been talking about fire and water. the fusion of two elements that typically would cancel each other out, but somehow within this new 5D earth and the new consciousness that we're in, seem to be an elixir, is what I'm hearing. They're like an elixir. It's something that water should put out fire, but somehow working with these two elements is bringing in is birthing something new, is what I'm hearing. Okay, so they also represent the element of water and fire, these two. I mean, yeah, Jasper's also earth as well, but I'm going on the red of the colour in terms of fire. Okay, so experiment with that. The other crystals, hematite, very important. Hematite, you may not know, is very good for helping to prevent blood clots. Now, one of the potential side effects, again, that has been reported in some people, not everybody, not wanting to put that out there and create a big mushroom cloud of fear, but, you know, this is just hematite. Wearing hematite, very, very straightforward, helps protect against blood clots. Again, you have to wear it consciously. It's not just about slapping on a bracelet. It's like, well, I'm okay, Jack, because I'm wearing that. Okay? Program the crystals. They need to know what it is that you want them to be doing. Okay? Program them under a new moon. Program them under, I mean, we've got an eclipse coming up, I think, haven't we, with the Sagittarius new moon or full moon, whatever it is, on the 26th of May. But you might be watching this a year hence. Whenever there's a powerful portal coming up, you know, we had 555 yesterday, or whether it's new moon, full moon, program the crystal, tell it what you want it to do. And again, remember to keep cleansing it, okay? It's a tool. It's not the be all and end all of everything. It's something to help remind you. They're like visual cues, you know, because ultimately this is all inner work that we're talking about. Helping you to be in optimum health after having this, or getting yourself ready for it before then, is to do with is frequency work. So when I'm talking about using crystals or sprays, they are cues to remind you to be that, okay? That I am this master manifester, I am this alchemist, I am the magician. You know, the tarot card with the magician, he has all the tools on the table and he works with all of the elements. He knows that whatever life presents to him, you know, whether in this case it's in the form of this, I can deal with it. I have the tools to be able to transmute it, okay? Which is why, again, going back to the start of this video, Metatron's so hot on just don't be unconscious. And by that he means just don't be one of these people that's just like, okay, I'm just rolling up my sleeve and having this because society tells me I have to, you know, and actually I don't even know what's in it. I haven't looked into it, but, you know, the doctor says it's fine, so okay, I'll have it. And then walking away and never thinking about it again. That is so far removed from the spiritual path, because we all should be thinking about our well-being on a daily basis. Exactly the same that if you're stuffing donut down your face, you know, it's sort of like, okay, well, yeah, but okay, so what are you going to do now to help your body eliminate that? Coming neatly on to my next topic, which is elimination. But let's firstly finish off crystals. So hematite. I also want to bring in Piettersite. I'm just going to look up the meaning of Piettersite from Philip Permut book. Oh God, I've just singed. Just interestingly, I nearly set myself on fire then. Maybe I should move that candle. It's the second time I've done that. What is that? A smell of like burnt flesh. That's really disgusting. There's something in that though. I've done it twice. What is that about, Metatron? Why am I keep singeing my skin and my... Oh, sunlight. Oh, thank you. Well, you could have done it in a slightly more gentle way rather than setting me on fire. Yeah, okay, vitamin D, of course. Yeah, vitamin D, sunlight. Even if you've had the jab, we know that vitamin D is very good for helping to fend off this virus. And just because you've had the jab, it, you know, supposedly, I'm not going to get into the science of this because I have my own personal feelings on it, but what is being said is that obviously it's protecting you more from, you know, the virus that may be out there. But then again, there's all these new variants coming in. So you've got to be on top of your vitamin D. Even on a cloudy day like today here in the UK, the sun is still up there, you know, in those clouds. Get yourself out in it daily. Vitamin D, sunlight on the skin. Right. Anyway, back to this crystal, Piettersite. It's a variety of tiger's eye. It's good for the pineal gland. Again, pineal gland, third eye, creative approach, seeing outside the box, you being in touch with your intuition, whether you've had this or you haven't, it's connecting into your intuition. That is the initiation. It's like, what are you going to do with this? What are you going to do with this whole experience, pandemic? What are you going to do with it? I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm really feeling it very strongly. It's like Metatron's like shouting at me. What are we going to do with it as a species? Whether you have this or you don't, what are you doing with it? What he means by that is, what is your intuition telling you? If your intuition has told you it's okay for me to have this, your intuition is telling you that. It's not about anybody else telling you anything different. If somebody else's intuition has told them it is not for me, that is correct also. Okay, so Piettersite, third eye. It's good for the pituitary gland, metabolism, digestion, blood pressure, temperature balance. It helps fever and hypothermia. It's also very helpful during meditation and visualization. Has a grounding effect, and it helps combat fear. Piettersite. Next crystal up, titanium flame quartz. Titanium quartz. I always link this with Ashtar's sort of energy. What's this one good for? Good for body fluids, fever, dehydration, AIDS, MS, centers emotions, meditation. Helps you to see auras. That's interesting, because actually the fact that it helps you to see auras, I think this probably is also quite good for Merkaba work, the more that I think of it. It's good for Merkaba work, okay? By that, because it's about you sensing your aura and your Merkaba. Please, please, please don't get disheartened if you can't see your Merkaba or you can't see your aura. We are talking energy. Some people can see energy, some people can't. It doesn't mean that it's not there. I remember once somebody saying about love, you know, can you actually see the frequency of love? No, you can't. Can you actually see a radio wave? Can you see a microwave? No, you can't. Does it mean it's not there? No, it's there. So same with aura work and Merkaba work. Right, is that all the crystals I wanted to mention? Oh, emerald. I'm feeling emerald as well. Haven't actually looked up the qualities of emerald, but I wanted to bring this one into today. So let's just have a quick look in terms of what emerald is about. Well, emerald's the heart, isn't it? Thinking about it, emerald is linked into the heart chakra, so it's going to help to keep your heart open. Helps the immune system, the heart, blood pressure, viral infections, sores, has antiseptic qualities, helps with bad temper as well. So again, emerald, very, very good crystal to also be connecting with. Smoky quartz I'd add in. I mean, we could just go on, couldn't we? Those are the main ones that I'm particularly linking into. Rose quartz for the heart, clear quartz. Yeah, okay. Right, I want to talk about elimination now. So, assuming you've had your jab, whether you've had it this week, whether you had it 2 months ago, whether you're going to have it next week, it's very important, Metatron's saying, to keep your elimination systems as clear as possible. By that, he's talking about the bowel, he's talking about the liver, he's talking about the lungs, he's talking about the skin. I'm being shown the skin as well. You know, ways that the body is able to get rid of waste, okay? I am being shown skin. For some reason, skin as well, very important. Elimination of secretions via the skin. If you've had, so it's like it's a purge. I'm being shown, I know most of us don't have a sweat lodge to go to, but something like a sweat lodge would be a good thing. Or a detox type energy. You've got to find the right detox for you. I'm not going to suggest anything here with regard to that. Everybody has got different ways of doing it. Don't go extreme though, is what I want to say. If you've just had this put into you, your body is already trying to regulate and get itself back in balance. So don't do anything too extreme, which then puts added pressure and stress onto the body. But you can do a gentle, anything that's going to help elimination from a gentle perspective. So for example, I mean, like with regard to bowel, I take acidophilus every day. For me, it works. I just find it very helpful. My gut likes acidophilus. It's a very simple thing to assimilate into the diet. With regard to skin, it could be something like dry body brushing, okay, or it could be something actually linked into. I'm talking literally like if you've just had the jab, maybe within the first few days or so. If you're, because I keep feeling like wanting to sweat it out, so something like a sauna. Again, only go into a sauna if you haven't got high blood pressure, dicky heart, all the rest of it. You've got, please be sensible. You know, I'm not. You have to seek medical advice for anything that I'm saying here as well. But I'm almost being shown like not wearing makeup for a couple of days. You know, allow your skin to breathe. Maybe a bit antisocial in very hot countries, but I'm also being shown the armpit. You know, again, how sweat comes out of the body. If you're just on your own, and it doesn't matter if, you know, there's a little bit of odour coming from underneath your arms, you're not going to be affecting anybody else. You're not on the tube in London, you know, hanging onto a strap like that. In all seriousness, maybe just don't wear deodorant for a couple of days, or wear antiperspirant rather, or wear one of the deodorants which allows the pores to breathe. You know, needs to eliminate basically. Equally, water, drinking water. I need to do that now. Drinking water, allowing it to flow out of you. I'm just looking at David Bowie, something. Yeah, he's a link into Ashtar in a moment. But anyway, let's just finish on elimination, David. Or anything else? Dry body brushing, sauna, water, clean skin, something for gut health or digestive health. For the lungs, it would be deep breathing exercises, mindfulness, meditation. I just want to check one thing before I say it. I know I should trust what I just get, but I just, because this is such a important video. Okay, I'm going to just say what I'm hearing spirulina, which I must admit I don't take. What's the benefits of spirulina? It's loaded with various nutrients and antioxidants that may benefit your body and brain. It's extremely high in many nutrients. It's a type of cyanobacteria. Just like plants, cyanobacteria can produce energy from sunlight. Spirulina was consumed by the ancient Aztecs, but became popular again when NASA proposed that it could be grown in space for use by astronauts. It's funny. David Bowie, I was just hearing like, you know, it's a starman in the sky. Da, 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 da. And so, yeah, David, they grow it in space, do they? Fair enough. Okay. Well, it's obviously rich in nutrients. It says a tablespoon of spirulina provides a small amount of fat, including omega-6 and omega-3. Quality of the protein is excellent, comparable to eggs. It gives you all the essential amino acids that you need. Okay. It's an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory. Okay. Why am I not taking it? There's 10 different effects here, all good. Has anti-cancer properties, reduces blood pressure. Okay. The bottom line, let's get to the bottom line. The bottom line is a blue algae. It's incredibly healthy, may improve your levels of blood lipids, suppress oxidization, reduce blood pressure and lower blood sugar. Superfood, worthy of its title. Okay, you have to look into that and obviously make sure you can take it with anything else you're taking if there's any contradictions or whatever. Okay, we've done eliminations, we've done malas, we've done crystals, we've done Merkaba. What haven't we done? We haven't done Ashtar yet, I know. Anything else before I get into that? Oh yeah, very importantly, blessing our medication. So when you have the jab, if you have it, don't go into, what you need to do is you need to be imagining and visualizing that you go into the clinic and that whoever your guide is, whether it's Metatron or anybody else, I know some people are going to get triggered by this who really are anti-jab, but it's what I always say to people, whether you're having a medical procedure in an operating theatre or in this case you're having this put into you, Imagine that the physician or the person doing it is an ascended being that's giving it to you. Would an ascended being give you anything that's bad for you? Okay, now you bless the medication, you bless the jab. Because the reverse of that is you sort of see the doctor coming at you with the big needle and it's like, oh my God, what's in that? What is in that? And what's that going to do to my body? And you're in total fear. And it's like you stagger out of the surgery thinking, oh my God, have I got a side effect yet? I'm exaggerating, but I'm exaggerating for effect. Two polar opposite energies. Somewhere in the middle is probably the answer. So you go into that room and you fill it with love. You fill it with the energy of light codes. You don't need to know what those light codes are. You ask Metatron to do it for you. You ask Ashtar to do it for you, okay? Ask him to fill that room with light codes. I was staggered. About a week ago, I had to take my mum. She was having her second jab because you have 2 in the UK. Well, actually, they're now talking about 3. We'll come to that in a moment. Let me mention that. But anyway, she was having her second one, and I took her, and I was just sitting outside waiting for her. And I thought I'll do a little film. I'll just do a little 2-minute film for Instagram. I didn't actually post it. I've probably still got it on my phone. And I was just chatting away. It was Sunday and wasn't really talking about anything. The number of orbs in the car, and I was parked outside the room where she was effectively having the jab because I could hear the doctor and, the people talking. The orbs were literally, they were in my car and they were just like flowing into the room. They weren't coming to me because I didn't actually need them at that point. They were needed in the room. I couldn't believe it. Never seen so many orbs. Somebody said on Instagram, because I did talk about the video that I'd done even though I hadn't posted it, they said, well, why would the orbs be there if these people aren't making the right choice? I mean, that's a judgment in its own right. And I'm not saying I agree with that. But I was saying the angels and the ascended masters will support you whatever decision you make. Of course they will, because they're unconditional love. They're never going to turn around and say, oh, well, you shouldn't have done that, so we're going to stand back and do nothing. No, they're going to be with you whether you have it or you don't have it. And you must remember that. So you go into the room and you imagine it's filled with angels. You know that they're there, you trust that they're there, you see the person administering it, doing the best job that they can, etc. And then as it goes in, you bless it. In the same way that we used to bless food before we used to eat. I certainly did as a child. You bless it. By blessing it, you are increasing its vibration, okay? You're turning, it's the opposite of fearing what's going in, Okay, yeah, that's important to say that. I will just say that, yeah, in the UK, this might be the same in other parts of the world, but certainly with the AZ one, I have to say, if I did ever get it, I'm not getting it at the moment, but I probably would go for that one, even though there are the issues to do with, some of the side effects. But what I've been talking about in this video, hopefully it's making sense. I would have it and I would go into it with my tools. Now you might say to me, well, why aren't you having it then? I'll tell you about that in the next video, but I'm not going to diss your choice in terms of having it. That's not what I'm about, but I will explain in video 2. Why am I saying this? Yeah, but in the UK, if you have the AZ one, they're already now saying you're probably going to need a third jab in the autumn, like a booster shot. Maybe that's true for the other types of jab, I'm not sure. But again, know that if you're signing up to this path of having this, you're probably signing up for booster shots. Are you comfortable with that? Are you not? I don't know. You again, Piettersite. You need to go and intuitively you'll know. And it's okay to also change course. I'm not trying to get you to change course. I'm going to say exactly the same thing to group 2 in my next video who haven't had it, because this card came out. Humility. It was actually lying on my floor under my desk last night, and it says here, allow me, divine, to always accept the right assistance. I welcome your help in every way and I delight in receiving it. But what this is about for me is there is a quote. I just need to get the quote. And it's about having humility. Sorry, just see if I can quickly find it. If I can't, I'll... Well, actually, there's quite a few that have come up. Okay, Albert Einstein, we'll go with this. A true genius admits that he or she knows nothing. Life is a long lesson in humility, J.M. Barrie. But that actually wasn't the quote that I was after. It's to do with... it's to do with being humble and having humility in terms of what you don't know, and realizing that all of us are still learning. And what I mean by that is that I'm making this in May 2021. We don't know where we're going to be in 2 months' time. If, for example, then suddenly there's a whole load of other booster shots and you start to find, hold on, well, I've had one or I've had two, but now I'm really not sure I want a third and a fourth. Thank you very much. Humility is it's okay to be it's flexibility. It's okay to change course. Okay, don't get stuck in a rigid mindset. And same for, as I say, the group who've decided not to have it. If in 2 months' time, I don't know, there's a new variant or something that comes in, it's okay to change our minds. Okay, so we have to be humble. We have to have humility. Remember this, I believe this is all, it's like a roll of the dice. It's an experiment that humanity has chosen. Many lessons are coming from this. Look back at the whole body of work I've done over the last, I don't know, 14, 16 months. It's all there on a playlist called COVID. Okay, Metatron has talked about all of the lessons that are coming from this. So if it is a lesson and it's something we're meant to be going through, well, there's going to be other chapters that potentially come out. Okay, so we will be guided every step of the way, but just stay humble and let us all have humility. Right, we're going to do a bit of work with Ashtar, I think, now. I've got Melchizedek here as well. Just need to have some more water, guys. Melchizedek. Oh, well, this card, which is from the Carl Gray deck, whatever it is, I'll put it in the description box below. It actually says, you have learned from experience. More inner study is now required to further progress. I feel he's here like this overlighting energy, Melchizedek, to all of this work we're doing. And he's basically saying that it's that word work again. It's as though it's inner work. It's working with what you already know within you. It's definitely linked into sacred geometry. He's there with the flower of life behind him. Melchizedek, Melchizedek. Just bringing your energy in. Okay, he's coming in like he always does for me, as a very ancient, wise, older. The only way I can describe it is like a grandfather type energy. He's got this long flowing white beard. He's dressed all in white. He has sandals on his feet. He's stockier in stature than somebody like Jesus, for example. But anyway, Melchizedek, you can turn to me. He's saying you can turn to me for guidance. He's there as a rock. I'm hearing he's a rock. He's a rock on which you can lean. He's also shown me a staff. He's willing to give you a staff that you can have to guide you on the steps ahead through this rocky terrain that we're all in our world. I'm being shown he's giving you a staff right now. So if you just connect into his energy with me, so there's this wise, beautiful grandfatherly type energy. He's the embodiment of light, I want to say. It's like he's the embodiment of walking light. And he's got this staff, and it's very Moses-like. He's giving you this staff to hold. So take the staff into your hand and lean on it. He's saying, lean on it. And this staff now is almost turning into something that feels quite Merlin-like as well. It's almost like a serpent. It's a snake stroke serpent head, and it's alive, and it's but it will not bite you. It will guide you. It's to do with, it represents life, force, energy. He's taking me to the Kundalini within your body, and the serpent that lies within you at the base of your spine. And he's saying the Kundalini energy, the serpent, allow it to rise up the spine and allow this energy to purify. So he's bringing in the white holy light as it rises up the spine. So it's imagining the serpent at the base of your spine, just coiling itself very gently, with precision. It knows exactly where it needs to go, and it's just winding itself very gently around the different vertebrae. It's working its way up the spine, and as it works its way up the spine, it's not tight, it's loose, but it's bringing in the energy of pure white holy light and fire, holy white fire. It's purifying this spine. There's also something about the DNA, where the DNA is stored. The white holy light coming up, Kundalini energy, purifying the DNA, cleaning the DNA, bringing in the codes that are needed. Okay, I'm now being shown this Kundalini energy that was become something other than Kundalini energy. It's like we've gone from where the top of the neck is, the altar major, it's now flowing, all this white energy is now flowing all the way up, and it's like I'm being shown a ladder of light, and it's connecting you up to the highest point of ascension that you can reach in this lifetime. There is no barrier to being able to ascend as high as you wish to go if you've had this jab. Okay, so he's clearing out that energy that says you can't go any higher if you have it. I'm just being shown this ladder of light, and some of the rungs on the ladder. This is interesting because some of the rungs on the ladder are broken. Now, whether this has been caused by the jab or whether it was already there, I don't know, because I don't want to contradict other teachers on this subject, because I do feel as though the broken ladder is interesting. So I feel this is restoration work. I feel as though in some people, not everybody, there was a linkage here. I just want to call to higher ascended states. I'm just being shown they're broken. Again, he's repairing them. He's going in. I'm now being shown a hammer and nails, and it literally is like it's like an architect type energy, and the rungs on the ladder are being reinforced with white steel, and nothing is going to stop your ascension if you wish to keep on climbing higher and higher. So it's like I want to say Metatron as well. Metatron and Melchizedek and Michael as well coming in and saying, we have your back, we have your back. You can climb as high as you wish to. There is no barrier here. We are cleaning whatever may have been done to interfere with that process of growth. Yeah, very, very, strong energy there, Melchizedek. Don't mess with that guy. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, thank you, Melchizedek. Right, we're going to end with Ashtar. Oh, actually, before we do Ashtar, Mary Magdalene I'm going to refer to more in the next video. Okay, guys? She is here as a supportive energy in this. Okay, let's just do Ashtar. So Ashtar, Commander Ashtar. Got a bit of a headache all of a sudden. So there's something going on here with the head. Okay, something going on here. Let's just see what Ashtar's wanting to clear. Can you see what I'm doing? It's like I'm wanting to put it in a circular motion around my head. It's like I'm seeing the planet Saturn has the rings. Oops, excuse me. Saturn has the rings around it. I'm being shown the head with almost like one of Saturn's rings, but it's feeling quite tight and restrictive. And I want to do that. It's just like, let's get some space here. It's like, let's pull and stretch those rings. What is this? Okay, Ashtar. What is this, please? You You see, Saturn is the taskmaster. Saturn is the teacher energy. Saturn is about building strong foundations, but they're built slowly with persistence and endurance and commitment. So there's a lot to learn from this whole experience, Ashtar is saying. What do you want to specifically say with regards to this jab? What help is there please to hand with this jab for people? Okay. I think there's something in the fact I'm having to put this blue obsidian onto my third eye for a start. Working with blue obsidian, linking into the blue ray. The blue ray is linked into protection and strength and truth. Ashtar is saying this is an opportunity for you to be able to tune into your body and to ask it, what is the truth of this situation for me with regard to this jab? What has this been trying to teach me? I'm going to pull a card, guys. This energy is quite intense. Ashtar. Oh. What are you trying to say? Blue ray, Ashtar, as expected. The card says creation, visions, messages, dissolve the veil, bliss and dreams. It's got the turtle. The turtle has his home on his back. Visions, messages, dissolve the veil. I think Ashtar's often has very few words. He just wants to do a transmission here. There's a message that wants to come through, and I think it feels like it's individual for everybody, which is why my head feels like it's about to explode. So I'm not even going to try and do this. You need to do this. It's like he's saying, yeah, they need to do the work. Okay, oh, okay, all right. Stop trying to do it for everybody. Okay, yes, okay, thank you. All right, we're going to do a transmission. He's saying they're ready to do the work. Yes, thank you. Okay, Ashtar. It's just going to come through the eyes, guides. It's going to come through here. It's going to come through my eyes. I don't know. Feel into whatever Ashtar wants to say to you. We're going to have a minute of silence. Okay, so I'm being shown this blue overlighting energy, overlighting the blue planet, which is us. And it's like they're watching, they're like that, they're watching us, they're watching how we're all doing. For some reason, he's showing me a very small little blue flower. Oh, it's a forget-me-not. He's giving you a forget-me-not. He's saying we haven't forgotten you. We haven't forgotten humanity. we can see what is happening. We are here to support you. It's a weird one, forget-me-not. I'm going to look up the spiritual meaning of forget-me-not. Okay, they symbolise protection and luck. And it's believed that they have the power to protect humans against witches. Whoa, I never knew that, did you? That's what they look like. Okay, it's a protective flower. I was just seeing him, he was getting this little flower and he was just putting it into our pocket. Okay. You've been given a forget-me-not by Ashtar. Doesn't get much better than that. Right, guys, we've gone on for nearly an hour and a half. If you've still stayed with me this long, thank you. I hope you benefited from this. You'll also benefit from the next video that I do on Saturday. For those that haven't had it, it's a piece of work that goes together. Just to wrap up, in terms of tools, obviously the biggest tool is the frequency that you hold, meditation, mindfulness, Merkaba work, light codes. The crystals that we've talked about today are hematite, Piettersite, turquoise and carnelian, titanium flame quartz, shungite. The sprays that I have used in this video are white light for the Merkaba work. You don't have to have the spray, but you know, they can be helpful. We've also got the Commander Ashtar spray that we used. I used the Metatron Flame Attunement spray, and I used the Meta Pirate spray, which is our blend of our version of Pirate's Oil, but with a twist. Oh, Emerald as well we used. Okay, guys, I am now going to go and have a drink, and oh, we talked about elimination as well. So interesting. I haven't looked at Edgar Casey. I've written his name down. I'm too tired to do it now. I know he wants to come through at some point. This is a weird one. I'm hearing coffee enemas. I know that Edgar Casey was, he promoted enemas, didn't he? I mean, I'm not going to have one. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and drink it. But maybe we just needed to have a laugh at the end. Anyway, there we go, guys. Lots of love. Whatever you do, choose consciously. Keep on carrying on the torch of the path of mastery, which is what this is. And stay well. Love you all very much. Take care of yourself. Please like the video if you've benefited from it so other people can watch it. Much love. Bye for now. Bye.